Hi everybody, it's November 9th, 2025. Energy levels become more of a critical issue as we get older. Because when we are younger, our energy levels are naturally significantly more high most of the time for most of us. And so when you're younger, your tolerance and your patience is a great asset that you have. You have the energy to persist with certain activities. You have the energy to figure things out and heal yourself the best way you can. And you could forgive a lot. You could put yourself on the line a lot, sacrifice your time, your efforts, your so-called sanity. But as you get older, certain activities or stations in our life become more taxing, and we do not feel like putting most of the effort into one thing, like putting all our eggs in one basket, because we have to take care of the rest of our issues. And if we exert ourselves on something too much, it threatens to derail us. It threatens to sap us dry, and we're going to have to go into hibernation for a little bit to get back on our feet. So we become more economical with our energy levels as we get older. And there's a way around this. It is just increasing or sustaining a level of activity that others your age may not be partaking in. But if you do it, you can build up the same stamina as an athlete. We're talking spiritually and mentally and emotionally. If you sustain a certain level of competence, of stress on your being, your stamina will increase, and you'll be able to take on much more than you thought you would at your age for those middle age and over. And so that got me thinking about microcatastrophes. Now, the first example of a microcatastrophe could be maybe a social situation. So maybe you made a snafu, you had a slip of the tongue, and said something embarrassing, or you said something that offended somebody, and you did that unintentionally. And so you know that it's not a big deal because everybody understands these things happen, but you feel like it's a micro catastrophe because you just do not have the interest or the focus to settle this and resolve it. So even if you do resolve it, even if it wasn't a big deal, you still have that kind of dread inside of you about having to deal with something that you did that was unwanted, that you didn't want to have to deal with because you wanted to relax and enjoy yourself. And so those type of micro catastrophes are just, you could solve those negative feelings that come about by just really taking it slow and not putting too much emphasis on being perfect, and not putting too much emphasis on focusing on your focusing on your apathy or your aversion to dealing with the situation. The best thing is almost is like hopping in a cold pool. Just hop in, and once you're inside the water, you will deal with whatever you have to handily, and the micro catastrophe will just blow over, and it won't leave much of a mark on you. Another example of a micro catastrophe is dealing with a person that is close enough to you so that your feelings are slightly tender or more, and they say, or somebody associated with them says or does something to you that offends you. And this micro catastrophe is a bit awkward because they may have offended you and you may not have even cared, but the catastrophe is that you don't know how to respond, because if you do not respond, they may think they could do it again and you won't say anything, or you won't respond or fix the situation. Or if you say something, the relationship may dissolve because maybe you weren't that close to begin with.